Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. I am happy in inviting you all for this 25th online meeting. So it is like one of a milestone meeting. So I am Surgeon at Arms. I am Sharanya, Surgeon at Arms of Medley Toastmasters Club. The mission of Toastmasters is to provide a mutually supportive and a positive learning environment in which every member gets an opportunity to improve their communication and leadership skills, which in turn fosters self-confidence and personal growth. In every Toastmasters meeting, we follow 3 ground rules. Rule number 1 is please maintain silence throughout the meeting. If you're not talking, please go on mute. And if you wanted to move around, please stop your video. Rule number 2 is please avoid taboo topics such as sex, religion, and politics. Rule number 3 is in every Toastmasters meeting, all the members are supposed to be in formal attire. So please do join the meeting in a formal attire. With this, I would like to hand it over to our Toastmaster Dinesh. A small introduction about Dinesh is he is treasurer of our Medley Toastmasters Club, and he is an MBA graduate, and he has been working in a construction company in Solingalu. Over to you, Toastmaster Dinesh.
Thank you, Sergeant at Arms, for the warm welcome. Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. With the sound of the pen, I declare meeting number 572 open. I would like to tell a short story based on inspiration, a really short one. I'm sure that many of us would have heard the story somewhere. It happens in Italy many hundred years ago. It's between 3 characters: a loan vendor, a businessman, and a businessman's daughter. The businessman has a huge amount of loan debt with the loan vendor. The loan vendor, who's a very aged man, he has an eye on the businessman's daughter. So what does he do? He calls upon the businessman and he asks, I'll give you a solution. You don't need to pay any more money to me and all your debts will be wiped out. The only condition is that you have to marry your daughter to me. The daughter was a pretty girl and she was on a younger age, and the loan vendor was a very old man. Everyone was stunned by us when he said this, and everyone took apart. What he said was that in a small pouch, he will have 2 pebbles in it. One will have white and one will have black pebble. If he selects the white pebble, then all the debts will be wiped out, and he does not, and they don't even, and she doesn't need to marry him. But on the other hand, if she picks the black pebble, all the debts will be wiped out, but she has to marry her. So what they all do, they go to the loan vendor's house, which is a very big house. There, in the pool of pebble, this loan vendor cunningly picks up 2 black pebbles and he keeps it in his bag. The young girl sees this, but she doesn't want to question it. She could have very well taken the opinion of taking out the 2 pebbles and showing that there was foul play, or otherwise she could have taken out 1 black pebble and become a slave to the old man. But she went forward for her father's sake, and she took out a pebble, and before anyone could see it, she threw it out in the pebble among others. Thereby it was lost. She shouted, "Oh, what have I done? So let us see what the pebble is inside the bag, so that we can know what pebble I chose." And inside it was black. So thereby she was saved, because everyone thought the pebble she chose was white in color. This is a good story about lateral thinking and how to overcome obstacles when we are surmounted by minimum. I wanted to tell this story because we are having our online meeting for the 25th time this time. Medley will probably be the pioneers in online meeting in Tamil Nadu. Thanks to distinguished Toastmaster Sugandhi and distinguished Toastmaster Thomas, both of them played a very crucial role in it. And because of that, the club didn't disintegrate itself, and still the club holds forward, and we are all going forward in our pathways. With this, I would like to call upon our Toastmaster of the Day. Our Toastmaster of the Day was a previous district director. She is also the current president of Medley Toastmasters Club. And she is someone personally for the past 6 months, hears the opinion of everyone in the XCOM. She doesn't take any decision on her own. She wants the best decision to be taken forward, and she hears everyone's opinion. With this, I call upon distinguished Toastmaster Sugandhi Periyasamy.
Thank you, Presiding Officer Toastmaster Dinesh. Good afternoon, fellow medley members, and welcome to our 25th meeting. Today, I'll be playing the role of the Toastmaster of the day, and like every other medley meeting, today's meeting will also have 3 sections. We will have the prepared speeches, followed by the table topics, and then the evaluation. So let's move on with our meeting today. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Medley, and today I take the liberty of personifying Medley Toastmasters Club. Now, all of you have been associated with Medley probably for a few months, some of you for a few weeks, and some of you for many years. Do you know what Medley has thought about you as a member? So today, I'm going to play Medley for you. And I'm going to share all the things that I have been holding very close to my heart about each and every one of you today. Disclaimer, again, I'll be telling all good things, and sometimes if I'm in a good mood, I may go on to pull your legs. Now, you know what? I always am very, very fair. I have conducted an extensive survey with all members of Medley and has found out something unique about each of you. So sometimes there'll be some generic phrases, but then it is what I think, as well as the fellow members of Medley think about each of you. So now let's move on to hear a few things about Medley and about each of you. You might wonder why suddenly Medley Toastmasters Club decided to come in person and talk to each of you. Do you know that I was born 10 years ago in the year 2008 in the month of June, and on June 3rd, have any of you bothered to wish me happy birthday on June 3rd? I'm devastated, I'm dejected, and you guys will use one more word for a triad. No, what is that word? Disappointed. All these words I have. So do you know what are the emotions that I hold whenever I feel that none of you have been wishing me? This is what I hold within me. I don't know whether to cry. I don't know whether to laugh, but this is how you treated me this year. You forgot to wish me on my birthday. So I decided to come in person and talk to each of you and figure out why you didn't wish me on my birthday. All right. Now let me move on to share a few things about each of you. First, I would like to tell about Toastmaster Pavitra. Now this bubbly girl joined our club quite recently, but something that I like about her is her commitment. She was quite regular to all our meetings as a guest, and she was even more regular than compared to members. Toastmaster Pavitra, if you're present in today's meeting, I sincerely request you not to get into the bad member habits of missing meetings. So moving on, the next member that I would like to speak about is Toastmaster Periswamy. Now, this Toastmaster Periswamy, when he joined me and delivered his first icebreaker speech, he came across as a very simple person. But then when he delivered his icebreaker speech only, I knew that he is somebody who's so hardworking and who has this never give up attitude in life. Toastmaster Periswamy, I'm very glad that you joined Medley Toastmasters Club. Then moving on, we have this IAS aspirant, Toastmaster Chan. He comes across as a very strict person whom you wouldn't even feel like speaking to by his appearance. Look at his photograph, he does not even smile. But you know what? He is intelligent, he is analytical, and he's very, very passionate about all the roles that he takes up in our meetings. Moving on, this young lady Toastmaster, Shamla, she joined me 2 years ago and she took a break and then she came back. But the day that she joined, my life became very colorful because she added a lot of spice and drama through her speeches, and she has this effervescent personality that her energy is very contagious. She is fondly called as the drama queen of Medley, and wherever she goes and speaks, her eyes, her hands, her legs, and her whole body speaks, and she is a perfect example to that Body Speaks project in the old Competent Communicator manual. Moving on, the next person that I would like to talk about is DTM Thomas. He is fondly called as the walking English encyclopedia, a person who is not afraid to bend his back to achieve perfection in all that he does. A very helpful person who does not say no to any Toastmaster member who approaches him for help. But one thing I don't like about Toastmaster Thomas is he's actually a very avid and a professional photographer. Now, this picture of him I don't like in our club banner, but I don't know why, in spite of being a very good photographer, he does not want to give out better pictures of himself. So with this said, I would now like to take a break and then come back and tell each of you what I think about you. Over to Toastmaster, Drama Queen, Toastmaster Shamla.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. So I'm the general evaluator for today's meeting, and I'll be telling you what is evaluation and why is it important. So life is all about becoming a better version of ourselves every single day. And this is something which I believe in. And this is why evaluation and feedback is really important to become better at what we are good at already. So as a general evaluator, it is my duty to keep a check on the proceedings of the meeting to see if the meeting was smooth. And I'll give my feedback on the same at the end of the meeting when Madam Toastmaster of the Day calls me. But guess what? Thank God, I'm not alone in this. I won't be able to manage all this alone, and that's why I have two teams to back me up. First is the tag team, T for timer, to see that you speak in stipulated time, A for our counter, to keep a check on your verbal distractions, and G for grammarian, to keep a check on your grammar. My next team is a set of evaluators who will be evaluating the prepared speeches by giving them what positive comments and suggestions for improvement to the speakers. Hopefully, each speaker will feel encouraged by aspects of the speech that went well and motivate them to make their speeches even better for the next time. Now, suggestions help them grow into a better speaker. So all of you know that it is the 25th online meeting of Medley. And the reason behind the smooth meetings was the evaluation given to us in the form of positive comments and suggestions and recommendations as well. And we are at this level because we evaluation seriously. Feedback has helped me personally to grow into a better speaker honestly. So with this, it is time to call upon the timer of the day. So I request Toastmaster Perisami D to read out his objectives. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Toastmaster Perisami.
Yeah, thank you, General Evaluator G. Yeah, good afternoon, General Evaluator, fellow Toastmaster and guest. I will be serving as the timer today. My duty is to time prepared speeches, table topics, and speech evaluations. Today, the prepared speeches have varied timings ranging from 2 minutes to 12 minutes. Table topics have a time limit of 1 to 2 minutes, and evaluation have a time limit of 2 to 3 minutes. When a speaker reaches the minimum time allotted, I will show the green background along with buzzer. When a speaker reaches the midpoint of the time allotted, I will show the yellow background along with buzzer. When a speaker reaches the end of the speaking time, I will show the red background along with buzzer. The speaker then has 30 seconds to end his speech. At the end of the meeting, I will submit my report to General Evaluator. Over to General Evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Perisami. Next, I would like to request our counter for the day, DTM Thomas Abraham, to read out his objectives. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the counter, DTM Thomas Abraham.
Thank you very much, Dee. Good afternoon, all the Toastmaster friends and guests. It's my pleasure to be the our counter today. Our counter counts the ahs and the ums and all the unnecessary words and sounds that come in the middle of a good conversation. At the end of this session, when I'm called upon, I will have a list ready for you, as also good expressions. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you, DTM Thomas Abraham. Now, I would like to request the grammarian, Toastmaster Jagannathan, to read out his objectives. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Toastmaster Jagannathan.
Thank you, G. As a grammarian, my role and responsibility is to pay close attention to all speakers, listen carefully to their language usage, and I'll take note of any inappropriate use of language, any outstanding words that we use, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. And also, as the grammarian, I have the responsibility to introduce the word of the day. The word of the day is infamous, which is an adjective. It is pronounced as infamous. The meaning is when you are famous for something which is considered bad. Bad when your reputation is bad. So synonyms for this particular word, you can take notorious, disgraceful, outrageous, shameful. Antonyms for this words, you can take honorable, respectful, and reputable. Usage, Hitler was an infamous leader of Nazi Germany. Another usage, she is infamous for causing communal disruption in the society. So I will produce my report when the general evaluator calls for me. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jagannathan. I think it's time for me to go back, and don't worry, I'll come back again at the end of the session. So to give my general evaluator report when called upon Toastmaster of the day. So that's it from my side now. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Drama Queen Toastmaster Shamala. Our drama queen is not only somebody who's smiling, but she's a very, very strict officer because she has strictly told all our speakers to pin the timer whenever they're delivering their speech. And Mr. Grammarian, Medley is full of famous Toastmasters only. We do infamous things during our club meetings, but to the outside world, you're all famous Toastmasters. All right, now let's move on to hear what more secrets that I have about each of you. The next person that I would like to speak about is Toastmaster Karanjit. He is this nice Toastmaster who comes across as a very serious person, but when you speak to him, he has this childlike innocence. I fondly call him as Star Trek because he is one person who took us to the world of fantasy and technology through his interesting speeches. Toastmaster Karanjit, for your height, wonderful build that you have got, I think you can also give us a better picture so that you look good on our banner. The next person that I would like to speak about is Master. As a complete master. Kalyan, what I love about you is your childlike curiosity to learn from everybody. You have been serving many silently. Happy with you during the past. Let our speaker hiding in you. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us move on to the first segment of today's meeting, the prepared speeches. Let me now call upon the first evaluator, Toastmaster Karanjit, to read out the objectives of Toastmaster Kalyan's speech.
Thank you, Timo. Ms. Timo. Thank you very much. Good afternoon to all. As I will be the evaluator for Kalyan's speech, just to give you an overview of what he will be doing for today. Kalyan's speech will be under the path of innovative planning. This is 11.1, project number 2, which will be the evaluation feedback. The title of the speech is Time in PM. Time in PM. The time for the speech is 5 to 7 minutes. Please take note of that. And yes, Kalyan, over to you.
Time in TM, Toastmaster Kalyan, time in PM. Over to you.
Thank you, dear Modi. Good evening, friends, and my dear fellow Toastmasters. What does punctuality mean to you? What does time management mean to you? Is being punctual, is being time management? Do you think all of you in this room are good in time management, or you have excelled yourself being punctual? Think about it. We'll just ponder over. Friends, when I was studying in my school, what used to happen was every Friday evening, my parents will wait in the bus stop, and then we will be, me, my brother and sister, we will join them at the bus stop and we will go to the temple. This is a ritual at our home every Friday evening. What will happen is we are supposed to be there on the bus stop by 5:30. If we miss and not there, if we go late, on that day, we will be made to walk to the temple on that day. But while coming back, we will get nice masala dosa. And then there is a famous bakery at Vellore. The plum cakes are superb, that we will get a plum cake. See, but what happens is a reward or a punishment used to put us in shame. A reward for a punishment. So we used to avoid it from then on. Early childhood days, being punctual has got wired into my DNA. Being punctual is my habit. People say it takes 21 days to wire a habit. People say it takes 48 days to wire a habit. Some people keep trying for their lifetime. To me, I wired certain habits while playing an XCOM role in Toastmasters. I thought I'll just visit those roles. I can give you a very bet on this. I can tell each one of you in this room, take a role in Toastmasters. This time management will come in. Let's visit few roles and let's visit few XCOM roles. Let's take speaker. Wiring of a habit, this time management will come to you as a speaker. See, we all come here. We know earlier we used to see the timer and speak. Now we pin the timer and speak. But how much we track the timer and speak is a question we need to ask ourselves. Are we just making a note of the speeches, what time we took, and what habit we are going to wire by being a speaker? A classic example, I can just say the habit of time management can be brought into a DNA as TMOD. Whenever I used to prepare for a TMOD, I used to write a sheet and then time in which slots I'm going to time in, comment what slots I will speak, what time I spoke, and then I'll go back to my table and then cross-check again.
Hi.
Time I took. In this way, it is easier for us as a speaker, as a TMOD. Any role you take, evaluator, yes, there is a timer. Topic speaker, yes, that wire time management and can be wired into a system. Classic example is I'll take XCOM roles. Any XCOM role you sign up will give you, especially a new XCOM coming in. I thought this would be a very right time for me to send touch only this time and TM, and then purely with the XCOM role, all this habit of time management can be wired into each one of you who are signing as an XCOM role. As I told, not necessarily an XCOM role. A speaker, a table topics master, a TT master, time management can be wired. Let's take SAA. SAA starts a meeting and on time. That she's going to do for minimum of 24 meetings. Will that not wire a habit of being punctual and time management into the system? She need to come in before 10 minutes before, log in, I mean. So that way, SAA, the time management comes in. Secretary, see, whatever I say, this I learned it from Medley, and that is what I'm just coming in here and then speaking at Medley. Being a secretary, to me, it was like 48 hours before the agenda goes in. Within 48 hours, the meeting ends in, the MOM goes. That habit of writing proper, keeping on time, being a secretary got wired into me. Let's take, there are so many learnings. Let us say a president, there is a time management to be done. PPPR, yes, the posters comes on particular day, particular time, the video goes on thing on a particular day and particular time. Any road you take here in Toastmaster wires you the time management, wires that punctuality into you, into the system. To me, what happened was the greatest learning came to me as a secretary, but another greatest learning came to me. This time management got into the system. See, I told you in the very beginning, that habit of being punctual was in my DNA. That came through my punishment or from my decorum which my father had. But time management got improved only after coming into Medley, after becoming a Toastmaster. What I used to do when as a VP, people who know Gandhinagar Club, they very well can, nostalgic moment it will be, we all remember, there will be a corner, at the corner there will be a table. I always used to sit on the table, used to have 2 sets of agenda in hand. One agenda will be a regular agenda, and the other one agenda will be, I'll be writing how the time management used to go on. Continuously, I used to send chits to people, do all those stuff, and then it would be a very continuous event for me. Believe me, I could not even listen to one speech or one education session of the first 6 months. But what I excelled, what I mastered was time management. Today, with full confidence, I'll tell you, you give me any program, I can start on time and end on time. This learning I got, this management I got being a Vice President Education in Medley Toastmasters. This again, we went on, took this glory of Medley to a district conference. We had one district conference called Remembration. That particular conference, I played as a program chair. All the conference sessions started on time, ended on time. My dear friends, what happens here is, time management to us is always being fun, professional in social life. One day my wife asked me, you are speaking this much about time management, this, that. How many times you tell me that you'll come home by 9 o'clock and you end up by 11 o'clock and all those stuff. That's when I realized, we think all our skills are to be for a professional and social life. No, my dear friends, we need to bring that into home life or into a personal life as well. We all know charity begins at home. I'll give you a very simple formula to handle time management. See, we all know everything in its place and a place for everything. In the same way, everything in its time and a time for everything. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kalyan, for and we always start a meeting on time and end our on. Now, going on, let me now share facts that I haven't heard about some of you. This person, Toastmaster Prashant, is a quite unassuming Toastmaster. He has this calm, shy kind of a personality, hardly even smiles. He does not even smile so much as you see in the picture when you meet him in person. But this person, through his speeches, I learned that he has come out of life facing so much of emotionally challenging situations, and he is a person whom I will always say is an example of whenever you see night, the day is not far. He is a person with a never give up attitude, with a lot of positive energy within him, a man of grit and determination. The next person is a secretary, Toastmaster Pranav. He is an ardent Harry Potter fan that he calls himself as Pranav Potter in the social media. You can see that he has got this naughty smile. Ladies and gentlemen, he has been a naughty kid when he was in college and school, and that he has entertained us through a lot of hilarious speeches. He is somebody who is a fine young gentleman with a never give up attitude and with a dash of innocence. The next person is Toastmaster Narasimhan, a multi-talented person. By multi-talented, I'm not referring to that he has got many talents hidden within him. Of course he does, but he is multi-talented in helping different people, be it the Vice President Education, the Sergeant at Arms, the club president, or the contest chair. Anybody who goes to that to a very timely fashion. So, Narasimhan, you remind me of the quote, "A friend in need is a friend in deed." Next person is Toastmaster Mohanasundram. Toastmaster Mohanasundram, you are one of those members of mine that I admire a lot, because you are somebody whom I have observed is not afraid to learn, is not afraid to do a lot of hard work, and above all, you take each and every success and failure with the same attitude. Every time you come and give a speech, you've taken a lot of feedback and you come dashing to the next meeting after going through a grueling session with your mentor. I salute you for your hard work and your ever willingness to learn. The next Toastmaster is this Mr. Cool Toastmaster Saravanan, our incoming Vice President membership. Now, this person is a very, very innocent person that he came to a milestone set that he will not ever bring us to Medley Toastmasters Club. He also told during one of his speeches that he does not spend time at times with his daughter and wife, and he gave away all his family secrets. He's so innocent. Toastmaster Saravanan, when you serve as the Vice President membership, please don't be so innocent and let out all our club secrets to the guests. You see, those guests have to be converted into members. This person is our treasurer, one of the most eligible bachelors of Medley Toastmasters Club. We all know this person as a man of numbers, but he is somebody who, for his age, is very, very humble. He does not mind getting information from anybody, and above all, he does not mind getting his hands dirty, be it arranging the logistics, be it arranging the venue, and for anything and everything, this Toastmaster is the go-to person. If you can call him up and ask him to do some help, you can comfortably forget about it, because Toastmaster Dinesh will take care of everything, right from logistics to Medley's money. With this said, I would now like to invite Toastmaster Saravanan, the innocent Saravanan, to read out the objectives of the next speaker.
Thank you, TMOD. Thank you, TMOD. Toastmaster Dinesh is giving his first speech in Dynamic Leadership Pathway Level 4. It's called as Write a Compelling Blog, and the topic is Courage of Conviction. The purpose statement for this speech is the purpose of this project is for the member to review or introduce the skills needed to write and maintain a blog. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspect of his or her speech maintaining his experience maintaining a blog. Toastmaster Dinesh will entertain us for 2 to 3 minutes. Over to the TMOD.
Thank you, innocent Toastmaster Saravanan. Now we'll move on to hear from our most eligible bachelor who's delivering his dynamic leadership project titled Courage of Conviction. Toastmaster Dinesh. Toastmaster Dinesh, Courage of Conviction. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, for the very warm welcome. In 1994, apart from the year that I was born, people were also releasing their diaries online. People were writing about the stuff in their daily life. People were writing about their fitness secrets, their recipes, and releasing it online. At that point of time, there was no official name for it. But later on, it came to know as blogging. Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. Yes, blogging is something which happened 25 years before. Personally, I thought that blogging happened for the past 10 years or so. But no, it's been there for a much longer amount of time. Some people think that bloggers are someone who just do things out of charity. They don't earn much money at all. But actually, it's a mistake. There are certain bloggers in India itself who earn up to 5 to 6 lakhs a month just by blogging. They have it as their full-time work. Now I'll share my screen. Yeah. Yeah, can everyone see it?
Yes.
Yeah. So the blogging itself, there are different forms. For example, like fashion blogs are those with companies like Louis Vuitton. They pay you willingly, and so that they will write something good about their products. Food blogs are blogs which the hotels themselves call upon customers and they tell them to take a video or vlog about it. Business blogs are those which comes up in folks, political blogs and movie blogs. And also this project requires me to do a couple of blogs myself. There are different blogging websites like Webnix, Medium, etc. I choose WordPress because it's one of the most famous blogging sites, and above all, it was free to publish that. So there are two blogs I published. The first one is about a case of a fake property document in Tamil Nadu which I encountered, and the second one is about how coronavirus has impacted me a lot. There are many other blogging websites which can be done. And the most important part of blogging is that many people have to view what you have done. And here is a sample of it. There is a statistics section within WordPress. How many people have seen it? For example, today I was the only person to see. And yesterday I shared it with a few friends and 15 to 20 people saw my blog. So we have to make sure that this keeps on increasing. I am a very novice blogger and I'm using blogging only for the past 1 week. So a professional blogger would have much higher views, maybe in thousands or lakhs together. And also what takes it to be a successful blogger? The first one is that your writing skills improve a lot. If I compare myself to the year with a week earlier and now, I would have probably improved my writing skills. And also the blog styles have got better. And also the blogger has to concentrate on a single particular area and not in general. And also he has to use search engines like Google and Facebook for essential presentation. With this, I return control to our TMOD, to DTM Suganthi Periyasamy. Hello? Yeah. You can go ahead, Suganthi. Hello?
They are listening.
I have finished my speech.
I think she can't hear you.
but she's there on the call. Suganti?
Suganti, you have to unmute, madam.
Suganti ma'am, are you there? Okay, she's not able to hear.
I'll send a message to her.
Okay.
Okay, Toastmasters, since you all forgot to wish me on the birthday, and now some Toastmasters have been pinging me, and some of you even sent me cakes and all that, I suddenly got busy eating my cakes and unwrapping my gifts. And of course, I lost track that Toastmaster Dinesh has completed delivering his speeches. So I think for once you can all pardon me. Now, let me move on to share some more people whom I have in mind to speak about for today. Now, this Toastmaster, Lovely Aryan. People usually say that best things in life come in small packages. And whenever I see Toastmaster Lovely, I get reminded of this quote, and of course, true to her name, she is also a lovely Toastmaster. She is somebody who has great insights into finance, and she really sometimes gives us awestruck speeches, but in a very simple manner about finances and helping us understand the world economics. Moving on, this is Toastmaster Jaika, a member who has been in the Toastmasters fraternity for more than a decade, or for close to 15 years, I would say. He has been very loyal to Medley, that he keeps renewing every single term, but unfortunately his other commitments are keeping us busy. So Toastmaster Jaika, what I'm expecting from you is, do visit me at times so that the new members and I will get to see you at least now and then at our club meetings. The next person is, in Tamil there is a song called Michael Kadakelu Kadakelu Subayana Kadakelu. It means that whenever we start listening to stories, we get lost in the world of storytelling. So for me, this Toastmaster Priyadarshini, is one person who is very ardent in storytelling. Now you might wonder why I put a big photograph of her compared to our other members, because she has been carrying Medley on her shoulders at the speech contest all the way from club, area, division to the district, and she has brought many laurels. She is one Toastmaster who gives brilliant evaluations. The next Toastmaster is our past president, Toastmaster Tyagarajan. He is a hopeless romantic at heart. This I know because I have heard many of his speeches. He has been somebody who has stood by Medley through thick and thin whenever I went through all hardships, and he has ensured that all the members stayed together and kept the Medley flag flying really, really very high. I'm so glad, Toastmaster Tyagarajan, you decided to come back to me after taking a small break. Now, with that said, I would now like to invite the next evaluator, Toastmaster Priyadarshini, to read out the objectives of Toastmaster Tyagarajan's speech.
Yes, good afternoon to all my fellow Toastmasters. Today, Toastmaster Tyagarajan is presenting the touching story. The objective of his speech is to understand the techniques available to arouse emotion, to become skilled in arousing emotions while telling a story. The time allotted is 6 to 8 minutes. All the best to you, sir.
Toastmaster Priyadarshini?
Yes.
Ah, yes. Okay, are you able to hear what I speak? Please
Yes.
tell me,
Yes,
are you
yes.
able to hear?
Yes, sir, we can.
Yes, yes, we can.
Ah, yes, yes. Now let me swing into action. Title of the story is So Shall You Sow, So Shall You Reap. Me and Suresh were virtuous bachelors. We were bosom friends. And Suresh got paired. And as a well-wisher, after a month, I made a social call on him. No, he looked deadly pale. I was staggered and stunned. I asked him, Suresh, what has happened to you? And Suresh, yes, he looked very sickened. And then he turned at me, Tiago, whole marriage has been a farce until you that. What? Farce? Yes, you know that. No, I am leading the life of a married bachelor, you know that. What? A married bachelor? Yes, Tiago. I have been destined to be so, you know that. And Kavita has deserted me. What? Kavita? Yes. That was his wife's name. Yes. She had some premarital relationship. And this match has been pitchforked on her. Eh? Pitchfork. Yes. Oh, it's a tragedy, Suri. And now, yes, I tell you, yes, time hangs heavily on me. Yes. So it was all a thunderbolt to me. So yes, what can I do? I had no choice except to counsel him. Suresh, I told him, see, you cannot expect sunshine all the while. Life is like a roller coaster. All your frustration should turn into fascination. Yes, I counseled. Worry should all turn into wisdom. And difficulties should all be converted into opportunities, Suresh. And do you know, patience and time are two great barriers. Huh? No, but he was not seem to be convinced. Yes, pearls and pearls of wisdom, Tiago, pearls and pearls of wisdom. But I am unable to digest. Yes, I went for a holiday in US for 3 months. On coming back, landing in India, I heard Suresh had committed suicide. Ah, it was all a bombshell for me, my bosom friend, and I came to know he had committed suicide. Not able to withstand the separation of Kavita. Ah, yes, and I thought the drama would end at that. No. After 3 months, my cell phone twinkled. I attended the car. At the other end, I heard a feeble, female voice. Oh, who is speaking? I am Kavita. What? Kavita? Yes. Suresh farmer's wife. What? Yes. Abominable. Unutterable. Yes. She's the one who has ruined the life of my bosom friend, half of my soul of Suresh. Yet still, what do you want, Kavita? I asked. Tiago, will you come and see me? Yes, what is it? Now I am a victim of cancer, you know that. Breast cancer, Tiago, breast cancer. And doctors have declared me terminally ill. Terminally ill patient. Please oblige me visiting me. This is my last wish. I contemplated. Shall I go and see her? Yes. No, surely I should go and see her. I am not a serpent-hearted guy. I am a flowery-hearted guy with plenty of milk of human kindness flowing in my veins, I thought. Within 10 minutes, I was in the Cancer Institute. And I had predetermined to seal my lips. Yes, I did that. And whom I saw? A human skeleton. Yes, a shaved head with hollow cheeks and a sunken eyes. And she grew, and tons of tears trickled down her eyes. Tiago, I want reunion with Suresh. What? Reunion with Suresh? I didn't whisper even a single word. And then she proceeded, Tiago, graceless traitor, you know that. A third-rate betrayer for whom I deserted Suresh. Yes, Tiago. He deserted me, Tiago. He deserted me. He had married someone. And now I am an orphan, Tiago. I am an orphan. And, yes, fellow has deserted her. And within a few minutes, what has happened? She tried to grab my fingers. And her fingers, they were chopped fingers, weak and fragile. And suddenly, all of a sudden, it dropped. What has happened to her? Her body has turned cold. And she has ceased breathing. Perhaps the guilt of shame, again, shame, the guiltness and shame. Yes, she has suffered a trauma. Now I silently moved on. I drew a blanket on her body. Yes, here, her soul is gone. Yes, okay, it's all okay. But what has happened to me? The whole world is fully. And there is a mental mutiny going on in my mind. The confusion is doing its masterpiece. Suresh, Kavita. And someone was shouting in my face, reverberating, resonating, repeating again and again. What that? So shall you sow, so shall you reap. God is great. I am a student of Bible, you know that. In the Sermon on the Mount, the great Savior was Jesus uttered. Yes, so shall you, so shall you. Thank God.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tyagarajan sir, for that very touching speech. We will now move on to hear what I know about some more of you. All right, here comes the Rajnikant of our Toastmasters Club, Toastmaster Guru Prasad. He is somebody who I know if he comes to a meeting, he will be the stealer of many hearts, not with his charming, not only with his charming looks, but also with his lot of humor. He is somebody who's been associated with Medley and who has been with Medley for many, many years. He is somebody who brings a lot of flavor to every role that he plays in the Toastmasters Club. The next person is Dr. Darbaneshwar. Now, when Toastmaster Ishwar joined our club, many of you had a very tough time pronouncing his name. You know what? If it was somebody else, we would have taken offense. But this young, kind gentleman said, it's okay, you need not work so hard to pronounce my name. You can call me Ishwar. He is a school chap, which is quite not relatable to somebody who has done a PhD and is a scholar. He is one of the most eligible bachelors again in Medley But Toastmaster Ishwar, if you start delivering speeches like what you did the previous time, no girl from Medley will ever come to go on with a date with you. The next Toastmaster is Toastmaster Dinakaran. Now, if you can see from his picture itself, he has this Apavi Moham, and he is quite a very innocent person. He holds a lot of more than 2 decades of experience in his profession, but comes across as a very humble and innocent person. He has a lot of humor within him, and of late, I have been missing him in all my meetings. I really hate Corona because he started giving speeches and taking up role plays, and I think Corona kept him so busy that of late I have been starting to miss him a lot. The next speaker is our area director, Toastmaster Krishna Kishore. Now he is the most eligible NRI within the club because he is literally in London. Toastmaster Krishna Kishore, when you joined after the Speechcraft into the Medley Club, I was very, very happy because you are one person who is so hardworking and who does not say a no whenever you have to go and help people. And above all, you're very meticulous in every small thing that you do. And I'm sure many of us can learn how to be very humble, and above all, knowing you for quite some time, I know you are a man who is very emotionally strong, which I think we all have to learn from you. The next person is Distinguished Toastmaster Sunil Jose. He is a lawyer by profession, but can you see from his innocent smile, he does not even relate to be called as a lawyer. He comes across as a very humble gentleman, but then, have you ever heard of this phrase, putting an injection into a banana, vaazhappazhathila oosi kuthra mari? He is a man of few words. When you go and ask him for feedback, you might think that he is telling something very, very hilarious. But true to his profession of being a lawyer, he will tell everything in punch dialogues. A man of few words, but with a lot of depth and with a lot of innocence, and ever willing to help anybody who approaches him for help. With that said, now let me invite our evaluator, Toastmaster, Distinguished Toastmaster Sunil Jose, to please read out the objectives of Toastmaster Krishna Kishore's speech.
Good afternoon, Toastmaster of the day, DTM Sugandhi. Give me a few seconds to settle down after hearing your nice words from you. Toastmaster Krishna Kishore will be delivering a speech titled Lost in Transit. Now, this is the Path Completion Project from the Path Innovative Planning, and the project name is Reflect of Your Path. Timer, please note the time is 12 minutes, 10 for green, 11 for yellow, and 12 for red. So with this, I would like to invite over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Distinguished Toastmaster Sunil Jose. Now let me invite our Toastmaster Krishna Kishore to deliver his Toastmaster Krishna Kishore, lost in transit. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Sugandhi. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. And the second best time is now. For the first few words of my icebreaker speech on 1st of September 2018. It is precisely 1 year, 9 months, and 18 days since I delivered that first speech. As I speak in front of you today, I have 3 profound questions to myself. What was my learning while I was navigating through this riddle of Toastmasters Pathways journey? Number 2, does this pathways completion does this so long, like 21 months to be precise? And did this experience help me outside the Toastmasters? Before I answer these questions to myself and give you some examples of my learning in Toastmasters, there is a great saying about a bamboo tree. The first year it sleeps, the second year it creeps, the third year it leaps. I think any Toastmaster journey in Toastmasters would be precisely said as this. The first year we try to absorb the rules and regulations. The second year we try to understand and deliver the speeches. And the third year we leap forward to be a better Toastmaster. But probably in my Toastmaster journey, it might be the exactly opposite is what happened to me. Why? The first year, as I came from a speech craft background, I got introduced to the Toastmasters very much in advance. By the time I became Toastmaster, I was completely aware of what I have to do as a Toastmaster. Considering that, by the day one I became a Toastmaster, I planned all of my projects in sequence. And as a pathway suggests to you all, innovative planning. I demonstrated that skill even before starting my icebreaker. How do I say that? How do I give you an example to say that I was reflecting on this? As I said just before, 1st September, I started my icebreakers journey. By November, I was planning to do an XCOM role. Why? One of my level 4 projects was demanding me to serve in a volunteer organization and come back and demonstrate that you have learned something. So in a Toastmaster journey, my first year was taking that little leaps and taking that opportunities and planning the projects and anticipating their completion very, very, very well. I planned all of them very well. And I have learned a lot. And the second year being creeping out and seeing the positives of whatever I have learned in this particular journey. In the second year, I was getting set and I was learning so many leadership principles as an XCOM VP education role. As I was playing the VP education role in one of the Toastmasters clubs I am part of, and also taking several opportunities within the Toastmasters fraternity. As a program chair for few of the things like our Kindle divisions conference and our area contest, and next one, the most memorable one being my Ovations contribution, part of a program team. And secondly, during this tenure, as I was creeping out as a Toastmaster, I also learned a profound lesson from being member of 3 different clubs. Number one, Medley, being a community club, we have a very diversified, knowledgeable background and Toastmasters who come back and help us shape our career as a Toastmasters. Number 2, coming back to my corporate club. When we go from a community to a corporate club, it is all a different ball game. Their things work with designations, and their things work, the way you speak to your Toastmasters is completely different. It will not work the same way as a community, as we do it in a community club. And the thirdly, I was part of Young and Budding Club, which is Alwat Way Toastmasters Club. So there the challenges are completely different because you plan so much, but there will be no one to turn around. There were few meetings which we conducted with just 3 members on the floor. So these were the learnings as I was creeping out as a Toastmasters. Unfortunately, the Murphy's Law kicked in at a very, I wouldn't say it is a right time, at a wrong time. Anything, what Murphy's Law says, anything that can go wrong can possibly go wrong at its worst possible time. And that is the mode I would say as a sleeping mode for me in Toastmasters. The idle period. The last 7 to 8 months have completed all my projects related to pathways completion, but I couldn't do anything. I have a profound lesson from this experience of mine. Many a times we plan so many things in advance, but there are some things which go unexpected and out of our hand and planning. So this is one of those lessons I have learned as I was being idle for last 8 months. We plan so many things. In this travel, I lost that that finesse of speech writing. Yes, I did lost the grip of making that speech deliveries. Yes, I did lose many a times the timing on the projects I did. And finally, during my last speech, if you have observed, I lost myself to the technology. I couldn't do a presentation and I couldn't share a presentation. The whole speech I was speaking and you were just seeing to me and thinking like you're seeing my presentation. So anything that can go wrong can eventually go wrong. Even after losing so much, what inspires me to be back and to be with all of you? That is those core skills I have learned being in Toastmasters. Let me give you an example of one of that skill. Mohammad Khatani, after winning World Championship for public speaking in 2015, went back to serve his club as an SAA. Our past district director, Sugandhi Periyasamy, came back to our club to serve as a president, and she is serving as a president today. And just an hour back, I see a WhatsApp conversation. Our division director, Kalyan, is looking for a speech slots for July and August. After serving his role as a division director, he's going to come back to the club and serve or deliver his speeches and be a better member. With all this in view, my Toastmasters journey has taught me one thing. In Toastmasters, there are no designations. Being a member of a club is in itself is a very big designation. And whatever we do, being a member of a club will take us to the next heights. We always have to remember back from the same bamboo tree. The higher it grows, the deeper it bows. The higher it grows, the deeper it bows. That is what we learn from many of the veteran Toastmasters who come back to their clubs and they are willing to serve the members. They are willing to serve the members and members develop their communication skills. If we take the examples of Sampath sir or Thomas Abraham sir, like there are so many, we can see the living examples wherein they are coming back to their clubs to help the members rather than they themselves. At the same time, they do learn a lot of things themselves. With that said, let me conclude by saying that a bamboo tree teaches us the higher it grows, the deeper it bows. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Krishna Kusho, for that inspiring speech. True to the introduction that you had, you are definitely inspiring personality as well. All right, we to got some more secrets known about each of you. Next Toastmaster is DTM Sampath Sauri Rajan. He is a scientist by profession and is somebody who has got more than 2 decades of Toastmasters experience. What I really like about him is he is a charter member, which means that he has been with me since my birth till date. So he is like this parent who has been journeying with me all through my life. What I passionately admire about him is the amount of time that he invests in all his mentees for their own betterment. Toastmaster Sampath, I really admire your selflessness. The next person is our Toastmaster Venkatesan. Now, this person has a lot of accolades to his hat, but comes across as a very kind-hearted gentleman who does not think twice to help a stranger. He, again, after becoming a medley Toastmaster, what I particularly like about him is his willingness to learn, to experiment, to fail, and again get up and learn. So he is this person with a die-hard attitude. The next charming gentleman is Dr. Aragappan, a doctor by profession, but I think he would have given our stand-up comedians a run for their money. He specializes in daughter-in-law and mother-in-law family business. I mean, the humor business. But to me, he is this humble Toastmaster member who served Medley Toastmasters as his sergeant at arms, carrying the big suitcase, and has never ever complained about carrying the big suitcase. He is one person who always has a smile. The next Toastmaster is Toastmaster Rangarajan, who joined Medley around January. But it looks like as if he has journeyed with me for many, many years, because he is one Toastmaster who comes before even the Sergeant at Arms arrives at the meeting and goes quite late after the meeting. He is somebody who has always stepped in and stepped up to help whenever our role players were running late. And he is one person whom you can go out and ask for any kind of, be it putting up the banner, be it placing the GE, the tag reports on their desk, or any kind of dirty work. And this gentleman never ever will say no. That is the amount of selflessness and the kind-heartedness that he has. The next person is Toastmaster Raghunath Nair. He comes across as Mr. Cool. But then Toastmasters, he has more than a decade of experience in Toastmasters and is somebody who's well read. He is one sophisticated person, because sophistication, what I mean is the way that he delivers his speech, the way that he conducts his role plays, especially in his online meetings. I think he has gone the extra mile to bring in the air of sophistication and has helped our club to raise the bar, because he is one of the persons who wore a blazer, and after that I could see all speakers and role players trying their level best to come well dressed to all Toastmasters meeting. So now Toastmaster Raghunath Nair will take us through the table topics. Over to our table topics master, Toastmaster Raghunath.
Thank you so much, Toastmasters Sugati. It's a wonderful experience, and so happy that I'm doing the table topic session after a long time. It's like being Toastmaster. I always look forward for being the table topic master. Primary reason being that you will not be the one who will be called up to speak impromptu. So it's a very long-standing tradition in Toastmasters. And table topic is something which helps us to develop the ability to organize your thoughts quickly and respond to an impromptu question or topic. So today I'll have a list of speech or topics, and I'll provide you the topics, and you should express as when called upon your thoughts clearly, which should last 1 to 2 minutes. So, and 1 is the minimum time, up to 2 minutes, and you can go up to 2 minutes 30 seconds. So let me share the presentation deck. Let me know when you're able to see the screen. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes.
All right. Okay, so you have topics, the following 15 topics with me, and you should choose, and it will go with one of the topic, and I'll read out the topic. As the first speaker of table topic, let me welcome Toastmaster Narasimhan. Toastmaster Narasimhan, you there?
Yes, sir, I'm on.
All right, great. Please select a topic.
I would go with topic 5.
Okay. So your topic is being an adult is not an easy task. Being an adult is not an easy task. Toastmaster Narasimhan.
Yes, being an adult is definitely not an easy task. So once you become an adult, you start thinking from a different perspective. You will become aware of the people around you, the situations around you, and the environment around you. You're not like a kid anymore who can be carefree, who can express his thoughts, who can be innocent. So that is one thing which you need to watch out for. And also being an adult makes you say, you will be judged by others because you're an adult. With kid, you can always get away with a lot of things. You can say something, you can get away with it. People say that, hey, you know what? He's just a kid. So people do not really pay a lot of attention to what you're trying to say or the way you behave. Whereas if you're an adult, you have to be extremely careful. You'll have to watch what you're talking, watch how you're behaving, because you'll always be judged. So being an adult is not easy. And being an adult, you also lose your childlike enthusiasm to learn, right? You go with a set notion or have a set of thoughts where you feel that, okay, fine, I have done enough and I need to focus only on these things. Unlike a kid where the boundaries are infinite, so that learning aspect of it, right? As an adult, you tend to say reduce a bit when you become one. So being an adult is not easy. And if given an opportunity, I would definitely want to go back to my childhood days and become a child again. Over to you, T. Moody. Sorry, TT Master.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Narasimhan. That was really a good answer to that particular question. Let me share the screen again. Now, let me, as the second speaker, let me welcome Toastmaster Dr. Alagappan. Dr. Alagappan, you're there? Hello?
Yes, he's saying just a minute.
Yes, I am here.
Oh, great. Okay, so you're able to see the screen?
Yes.
Perfect. Please select your topic.
I go with topic 1.
Topic 1. Okay. As our DPM Sugandhi mentioned, the topics which you had was quite like spouses and all. So let me share this topic. Gender equality. What do women really want in a man? Gender equality. What do women really want in a man? Toastmaster Dr. Alagappan, over to you.
Okay. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I think as a husband and and as a doctor, I usually talk a lot to my patients, and I listen to them, especially women. And because there are a lot of things they tell about their life and the sufferings they have at their home with their husband, and from them I learn about what I want from husband or his counterpart, her counterpart. One thing is that they're not very much fond of having a lot of money or jewels and all those things, but the one thing they really want is the care. They really they appreciate from their husbands. And even in this COVID time also, I understand that in a lot of people are having a bad time, and they don't have maids at their home, and many women has to do a lot of work at home. We may think that all are on lockdown and they're having a lot of time, but especially women having a very hard time at home, because everyone wants to eat all the time, and everyone all the time they want to prepare, and so a lot of duty for them. So I think as men we need to support them. Even 1 hour before also, I was only washing the vessels and did some household works, cleaning and all those things, so which made her happy. So I think everyone has to do in this lockdown, so do all household works and just care about them and about the ladies in your houses and how they're happy really. And from my patient's side, what I understood is they really need the care, whether the husband cares for the women. That's what they really want. Over to you, TT Master.
Thank you so much, Dr. Alagappan. That was interesting. So let me start sharing the screen again for the topic selection. So for the next speaker, let me welcome Lakshmi Ramesh. Is Lakshmi Ramesh here? Toastmaster Lakshmi.
Yeah, I'm in, sir.
Okay, great. So please select your topic.
Yeah, my topic is three. Topic three.
Topic 3. Let's see what exactly it is. Okay, so the topic 3 is there is a possibility that the earth is flat. There is a possibility that the earth is flat. Toastmaster Lakshmi Ramesh.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to speak. Yeah, there is a possibility to the earth is flat. Okay, see, actually, since the earth is round, we are at least little bit safer. So if the earth is flat or something, again the US currently facing a lot of uh, in the pandemic situations. There are a lot of humans have been affected with corona, and world is currently in a very critical situation. They have to save their life. Even in India, it is very difficult to, how we are living. So we have to be in home, and we have to take care of ourselves. Yeah, this is if the earth is flat, I think definitely it would have been affected more people than uh, than now. So in the current situation. So anyway, so I don't know how it can be managed if the earth is flat or something. But so if the earth is flat, so how would we live or something? Is if it is not in the current situation, is we can live together. We can what sorry, I don't have anything to say about it. I'm really sorry on it. Thank you.
No, that's perfectly fine, Toastmaster Lakshmi. That's the way you need to come out, and then like we get all this opportunity to come out and speak, and that's where the impromptu thinking or like the immediate thoughts comes in. So let me share the screen again.
This you can come up.
I request the non-speakers to go on mute if you don't mind, and let me call upon DTM Guru Prasad, our Rajnikant. Are you there, Doctor? DTM Guru?
He's not there, so he left.
Oh, he's left.
Yeah. Can you go on to the next speaker?
To leave, he actually sent a message and he left.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay, so let me go to the next speaker. Is our guest Aruna there? Hello.
No, sir, you can go with the next member. Aruna is not there.
Toastmaster guest Kumar Mani.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, I'm in. Go ahead.
Okay.
I've got a bad voice, but you had to bear with me.
Perfect. So please select your topic.
I'll take topic number 9, my date of birth.
Oh, great. 1 second. Let me see what exactly is in store for you. Okay. The topic is, should humans eat to live or live to eat? Topic is, should humans eat to live or live to eat? Toastmaster Kumarman. Oh.
Wonderful. This is a statement that I think we have over a period of time learned. When we were young, believe me, I would go to a restaurant and hog and eat as much as I can, and that was living. But as time has progressed, it's been a little bit of a challenge because whatever I ate was settling down onto my waist. And then you had a huge tummy, you had problems and challenging, your clothes started shrinking. And that's when we had to basically go ahead and looking forward to Diwalis and other things to get yourself a new set of clothes. So from living to eat, time as it progressed, today As I'm growing old, I realized one thing, that I should maintain my diet and know what I'm eating so that I can eat to live better. And I think, in my opinion, it is what I can't see the topic in front of me anymore, but then it is what it is. Life is all about basically learning to move from living to eat to finally reaching eating to live. And make sure you're eating not medicines but proper food, but enjoy every morsel of it, because that is what life is all about. Thank you. Over to you, Tom.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kumar Mani. Now, to call up, let me share the screen. And the next speaker, let me call Toastmaster Ranga. Ranga, you're there?
Yes, I'm here.
Perfect. Please select your topic.
Let me choose topic 14.
Topic 14, colorful one, actually. Zoos should be banned. Zoos should be banned. Toastmaster Ranga.
If I am a child, this is the only way that I'm going to be seeing all the animals in one go. As an adult, I would certainly say that zoos should be banned. But as a child, it gives me an opportunity to go to the zoo and view all the animals, even though they are in captivity and not in the natural environs. And I would really love it when every time I go to the zoo and I see a bunch of animals in one place, be it monkeys or be it a lion or a deer in captivity, because it is so fascinating for a child. I remember telling stories to my niece and nephew, and you could always start with an animal, and we would go through, and they would feel so thrilled that there is an animal in the story. For me, I feel that every time I've gone to the zoo, which was near Central Station when I first went to the zoo for the first time, it was fascinating. I was just clutching onto my father's hands and seeing it and saying, look, this and that. And I was so fascinated by it. So as a child, I would say that zoos need not be banned, but as an adult, I feel that it should be. Thank you.
Excellent analysis of the topic, Toastmaster Ranga. Thank you so much for that. I think let me share the screen again. And let me call Toastmaster Venkateshan. Toastmaster Venkateshan, you're there? Hello? Should I move to the next speaker?
He's there, sir. Just a minute. Let me unmute him.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, my topic is number 2.
Number 2.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. Which is better, night dreaming or daydreaming? Which is better, night dreaming or daydreaming? Toastmaster Venkateshan.
I disagree with your thought, with your title, which is better, night dreaming or daydreaming. My mother used to tell me that early morning dream whatever your dreams in early morning, that is in Brahma Muhurta time, like 4 to 6 early morning, whatever things you are thinking about marriage or any other thing, definitely the wedding will happen in your family. That is true only. My mother used to tell me that when you think about the early morning, Brahma Muhurta time, if you're thinking about Lord Ganesha, Tirupati Balaji, whatever it is, we'll get asset within a year. That is true because it's I experienced a lot because I'm born with 3 sisters. That dream comes true one day, like Obama said. We should have a dream in our life, in a positive attitude, not in a negative attitude. I cannot dream as to become a prime minister, but I can dream as next year in 2021, I'll be a member in ICANN from the Indian counterpart side. I hope it will happen. That is why dream is good for your upgradation in your life, either professional or personal life. Always bad dreams, as per the survey, medical survey, they are saying that if you think about something, keep on thinking about that, that will be stored in the subconscious mind. That will come as a bad dream. That is why I request everyone in our group, think positive, always positive frame of mind you will have. Then only you can come up, you can overcome with negative attitude. Thank you, Topic Master.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Venkateshan, for that wonderful speech on the topic. Let me share the screen again so that we go to the next. To have the next topic, let me invite Dr. Sauri, DTM Dr. Sauri. Sir, are you there?
Number 7, please.
7. Okay, 1 second. Too busy is just a myth. Too busy is just a myth. Dr. Sauri, over to you.
Good afternoon, Tabletop Master, Toastmaster Raghunath, and other friends and guests. Not too many are there, I think, now, because they think they are too busy. Actually, this is a topic that fits me. I used to frequently say this: the busiest man finds time for everything. After I retired, at the very end of 2016, I thought I'm going to be less busy, but I am more busy. But I'm never too busy. Being more busy and too busy, they are two different things. Being more busy is you are engaged with a lot of activities. And particularly if your activities are good type of activities, which actually mature yourself as a personality and which helps other people in your activity, all these activities should be certainly promoted. So being very busy is a great thing. But if somebody says I'm too busy, take it from me, he is just trying to avoid. He is trying to dodge. He knows you are going to tell him, ask him for some help. By building a barricade of being too busy, he thinks he can avoid this. But of course, experienced people can see through this and they don't leave it so easily. In Toastmasters, we are also known for tenacity. If somebody says no, we just listen, but we again go to him later on. So somebody saying too busy should not be a problem for us. We should always be able to tackle it. And we should never be too busy for anyone. Anyone who comes to us with any question or any request for help, we should always be ready. So remove that word too busy. Say I am very busy, but I still have time for what you are asking. That will be a nice way of dealing with this. Back to the Tabletop Master.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sauri. Such a wonderful wisdom and thoughts shared in that topic. Let's go to the next topic. Now we have a few more topics in the right. Let me invite Pranav, Toastmaster Pranav. Are you there? Toastmaster Pranav.
Pranav is not there, sir. Can you go with the next?
All right. Okay, let me invite Toastmaster Sudha. Toastmaster Sudha, can you have
sir.
there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Please select your topic.
Topic 4.
Topic 4. Okay, so we are leaving all the left side. 1 second. Okay, it's a bit long topic. Some of the bad decisions are necessary, so you can have great stories to tell. Some of the bad decisions are necessary, so you can have great stories to tell. Over to you, Toastmaster. Sudha.
Thank you, Tabletop Master, for this wonderful topic. what to say.
Do you want me to repeat the topic?
Yeah.
Or you want to select another topic?
Some other topic.
Another topic? Okay, 1 second. Okay, you can select any other.
Topic 6.
Okay. Autocorrect could ruin your life. Autocorrect could ruin your life. Over to you, Toastmasters.
Thank you, Table Topic Master, for this topic. So correct. So correct. I don't what to say. Sorry. Sorry, Table Topic Master. I don't know what to say.
No, but you keep trying. You can talk anything on autocorrect, what your experience on autocorrect when you type the message. Whatever. Some funny messages, some funny thoughts, funny experience. All right. Let me share the last topic. Toastmaster Pavitra, you are there?
Yes, Raghunath. Can you hear me?
Yes, you can. Please select the topic.
Topic number 15.
Animals should have the same rights as humans. Animals should have the same rights as humans. Toastmaster Pavitra.
All right. Thanks for the topic, Raghunath. Good afternoon, Medlins and guests. This is a topic that I can very much relate to. When my friends come and tell me how animals have to have the same right as humans should. I love pets. I love dogs. So I keep telling them that I want to keep a dog as a pet at home. And even when I tell my mother, what she tells me is that, don't you think animals should also have the same right as you do? How do you feel during the lockdown when you're locked at home and not able to socialize with other human beings? Dogs and other pets also feel the same way, she says. I keep refuting and telling her that no, pets pets get more affection, and we will definitely take care of them and take them out for walks and care for them in the best manner possible. But she still rejects my and my sister's views and says, pets are not dogs and cats and other animals are not meant to be kept at home, but they are meant to be in their own natural habitat. So I think this is a very valid thing, and I've started thinking on these lines these days, and I kind of agree with her, saying that animals should have the same right, specifically after the lockdown, after Corona. I completely agree with how locked up I feel, and I completely agree with her on this. Over to you, Raghunath.
Thank you so much. Okay, that comes to the end of Table Topic session. To be very frank, I really enjoyed a lot of wisdoms and thoughts which came in from all these different topics. I hope you all enjoyed these topics as much as I did preparing it. Now, to conduct the rest of the session, I hand over the stage to our President DTM Sugandhi. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dave, Toastmaster, for taking an interesting set of tell some of up is to she is a very soft and a lady of few words, but when I remember the bamboo tree, how the bamboo shoot takes a lot of time to grow, and then when it starts growing in so many feet, and it really grows so high. So to me, Toastmaster Sudha is like that bamboo shoot who takes her time to prepare, and then she goes out all by herself. Especially, I really enjoyed her prepared speeches. All right. The next is Distinguished Toastmaster VN Subramaniam. Now, this person is very special to me because he is my father. He is the one who technically found Medley Toastmasters Club and served as a charter president. And till date, he continues with me, sticking by me through thick and thin. The next person is our humble Sergeant-at-Arms Toastmaster Sharanya, somebody who is almost new to Toastmasters when she took up the Sergeant-at-Arms, because she was just 3 months old in Toastmasters when she took up that club officer role, but somebody who pays attention to minute things and takes care of everything for our seamless meeting. She is again a very hardworking individual whom I admire. The next is our Vice President Education, Vice President Membership, Toastmaster John Jaikumar. He is a person who is simple, straightforward, and a man of few words. And I thoroughly enjoyed how he brought history to life within Medley Toastmasters Club. The next, of course, is our Vice President PR, a bubbly young college-going kid whom we torture every week for a set of flyers. I really admire how she juggles Toastmasters, college life, and of course her social life, and still manages to serve all of us. With that said, I think we are I think I've spoken about all of you. Now I'll take a break and invite our Madam General Evaluator, the Drama Queen, to come and take us through the General Evaluation section. Over to Toastmaster Shamla.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. So, ladies and gentlemen, please gear up. It's the last session of today's meeting, the evaluation session. And like I already said, it is a very important session. So, it's time to invite Toastmaster Karanji to evaluate Toastmaster Kalyan's speech. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Toastmaster Karanjit.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you so much. Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening, everyone. Great to be here today. It is 4:39 on the dot, so I'm going to get going here. Let me be I'm probably going to stun people here with what I have to say. Mr. Kalyan's speech, or Toastmaster Kalyan's speech, what I thought of it. Let me start by saying this. Time is the fire in which we all burn. Now they're probably saying, "Oh my God, what is he talking about burning? Is he planning? That's just something completely out of track." But really speaking, that's what time is. You know, Kalyan sir was talking about time management. I reflect on the fact that time is a companion that follows us all through our lives. They are with us at the moments, and it's important to remember the time you spend. And in that case, Mr. Kalyan achieved that with his speech. He talked about how his time in Toastmasters changed and the processes he goes through it, and how he went about it in a very organized fashion. He reflected on stories from his past and he brought it to the center, you know, and I think that's the effort he put into his speech. On the other hand, what I thought, while I did enjoy the very cyclical nature of the speech with its lack of infamy and its lack of without being altruistic. It was this idea that he was clear on his points. But that said, I did wish what my only point criticism of the speech would be that it probably was a little monotonous at times in the middle, where I think sometimes the audience weren't as engaged as much. And more, I would have preferred a little bit more voice variety as much as it was, because that's really what engaged. Because while he was kind of going through, it's kind of a film, a director who believes in making this big action film, and frankly, you're following the set pieces, and all the chess pieces are in place. But in reality, sometimes you do need to take a little breathing moment to spend some time in the middle there, and bring the audience in, allow them to breathe. But otherwise, great speech. I enjoyed it. I probably other members enjoyed it as well. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Karanjeet. Now it's time to invite Toastmaster Sarvanan to evaluate Toastmaster Dinesh's speech. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Toastmaster Sarvanan.
Thank you, G. Write a compelling blog. What a compelling time, because COVID has become such an infamous word now that it is spreading all over the world, and it is causing so much of economic as well as professional disturbances. Not this disturbance, but professional disturbances that's happening around the world. And because of this, there is the foremost thing that is coming up in everybody's mind. Sorry, timer, can you please block this timing? I'm not sure, I'm not able to talk. Somebody is talking in between. Somebody is talking in between. I cannot talk. Please restart my timing. Okay. So what I'm saying here is, this is the foremost thing that is coming up in everybody's mind because of this COVID situation and because of this infamous thing that is going around the world. It's causing lots of economic disturbances around the world. And everybody's mind is having this foremost thing of, what is my alternate source of income? And Toastmaster Dinesh has given a very beautiful thing, that is blogging. When he mentioned about earning 5 to 6 lakhs per month through blogging, that got my attention. I was in the back seat and I got into the front of the seat to listen what he's trying to say. There are 3 things I liked in his speech. The first one is on the preparation front. In the preparation, he called me, he sent a message to me before the meeting starts itself, that is yesterday itself, and sent a link to his blog saying that these are the blogs that are coming up from his side. So I read those blogs. So that is the first thing. Preparation is the key. He was able to send all the manual evaluation resource, everything upfront. So that is a really good thing from his part. The second important thing is he was able to implement all the Toastmaster insights in his blog. See, for example, the introduction or the content, strong conclusion, everything he was able to incorporate in his blog. There is something like the fake document, how the fake document is getting registered. So that is something he was able to bring up to life in his blog itself. So if you have time, please go through that. It is coming from a credible source because Toastmaster Dinesh is coming from a real estate background. He has got 50 years of legacy in that. So when he talks about something, that adds more credibility. And he was also able to bring in more statistics. He got in Forbes list. He was able to connect to the audience by mentioning about the personal story and how he encountered a fake document racket. And he was able to tell a story about that, and he was able to tell people like how to come out of that as well. So that is very beautifully done. When you have a time, please go through that blog. It's a beautifully written blog. The third important thing I liked is within couple of minutes, because this timing within couple of minutes, he was able to bring in the history of blogging, how it formed 25 years back. What are the various forms of blogging? What is the search engine optimization? How to improve the traffic? All these things are very important from a blogging perspective, and he was able to bring into life before us. And there are few points where I would say, there are some improvement areas that are needed. The first thing is on the purpose of blogging. What is the purpose of blogging? Whether it is for the project purpose, or it's for the informational purpose, or from promotion of his brand, that is not clearly coming out. Please, Dinesh, you have to look into that aspect. Second one is, in the manual, it is mentioned as you have to have 8 posts in your blog. So I saw only 2 posts. That is the minimum criteria that is needed. So you might want to look into that. When you saw the statistics, you can see only 20 numbers. Maybe because of that. If you have got 8 blogs, people would have seen all the blogs and your traffic would have been increased. That's the second aspect. The third aspect is on your voice. What I've noted is the tone, speed, and volume are the same throughout. So what I would suggest is, please write your speech on a Word document and emphasize or bolden the points where you want to increase your voice assist. So that is something I would suggest. So these are the three areas for your improvement. To summarize, I would say you have got good preparation, you have implemented the blog nicely, and you have got very good statistics in your blog. So these are the things, and if you can notice if you can improve upon your voice variety and purpose of blogging and go through a manual, that would be a really good one. But it's a relevant topic needed for this point of our, and I really like this and looking forward for your next project as such. Over to the G.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sarvanan. Now it's time to invite Toastmaster Priyadarshini to evaluate Toastmaster Tyagarajan's. So ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Toastmaster Priyadarshini. Also, before you start, I'm able to hear a few noise here and there, and there was already a problem in the previous evaluation. So whoever is not on mute, please unmute, and whoever is not on unmute, please mute yourself so that we don't have any disturbances. Thank you. Priya, you need to unmute yourself.
Thank you so much, G. Thank you so much. Okay. When your mind tells you to stop loving someone, but your heart doesn't let it go, what do you think will happen? Definitely, it will lead to a disaster, leading to an emotional story. Good afternoon to all my fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today's Suresh and Tyagu's story was really touching. And through this story, I also got to learn a lesson. It was special because it was based on a relationship. Now, why will I call this as a truly touching story? Reason number one, it evoked so many emotions. There was compassion, conflict, climax, premarital affair, leading to a loss of life. And whenever Suresh called his friend Tyagu, that depth in the voice made me feel that closeness between two friends. And the best of all was the climax, which was really gave a big twist when Kavita wanted to be with her husband after she dies. This is really interesting to say because this emotion did not have any reasoning, nor it can be explained. Now to this beautiful story, what is my recommendation? The whole story was based on Suresh and Kavita's relationship. And you were the person, the Toastmaster Tyagarajan was a person who was a mediator and one talking to us, and it was concluding with a message. When you have such a big story with a strong message, it would have been better if there was a supporting material added to these two characters. Might be more dialogues between Suresh and you talking about his relation, more description of Kavita as to why did she do this to her husband, then coming out with the conclusion. Might be this would have been more justifiable because it's not just a story, it was based on a relationship. Overall, I really felt it very touching because I must say it was your voice which played a major role here. And once again, this story was truly emotional because more than it was not based on any emotions or a reason, but it was what you say, the depth of the voice and might be the true essence of friendship which carried this to a next level. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Priyadarshini. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to invite DTM Sunil Jose to evaluate Toastmaster Krishna Kishore's speech. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for DTM Sunil Jose.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shamla. Today, it was a big day for me because maybe for the first time I'm hearing a Toastmaster giving the reflection of his path. See, reflections of path. Some of you may be wondering what he was talking about. He completed a path, innovative planning, and then he was giving a reflection. What was his learning what was his learnings from that path. So all of us do projects or as part of the path, but unless you have a lot of lessons from the path, but unless you share that lessons with others, other members will not be able to get anything from your learnings. So that was exactly Toastmaster Krishna did today. So how did he do the project? It was an extremely arranged speech in accordance with the project objective. He told us how he planned, where was he when he started actually giving the speeches on September 2018. He was a Toastmaster. He had an idea about Toastmasters, so he confessed about it. And then from there, how did you go every year? So first year, how did he completed, and second year, how did he perform? So it was a very good analysis, self-analysis of what he did during the last 2 years as a speaker. Now from there, he went directly to the area where did he go wrong? So what are the things he go wrong in his journey? Like, the lag in doing the speeches, the technological problems he faced, or the script writing skills which he actually missed. So, and from there, he again came back with the beautiful messages for us. He said one thing I liked it: as a Toastmaster, you have to come back. Wherever you do something, or you have to come back. And second thing which I liked about the lessons he had from his projects, is that as a member, designation is not the most important thing. The membership is your designation. So I like that. So throughout the speech, he gave his lessons and he gave us some messages which were very powerful. Now, how can we improve on this? One is that the title, Lost in Transit. The title gave me a lot of clues about how the speech should be. I think the title would have been something neutral. We would have just made it more interesting. The speech would have been more interesting. The second thing is eye contact. I felt like when you talk about online meetings, you should more check it and see if you are actually looking directly at the camera. So that the eye contact is considered as looking at the camera. And the third thing, you are literally cornered. I mean, you're standing in a corner for all the, so you can literally move here and there or move to the another side. It would have been better. I really enjoyed your speech, Toastmaster Krishna. It was a wonderful lesson for us from your learnings. I look forward to your next part. All the best. Over to you, G.
Thank you, DTM Sunil Jose. Now it's time to invite the timer of the day, Toastmaster Periasamy, to read out his timer report. Toastmaster Periasamy, are you there?
Can you ask him to unmute? Periasamy, can you unmute?
Yeah.
Yes. My network is a little bit unstable. Yeah. No, am I audible? Do I need to read out the qualified speakers?
Yes. So I suggest you read out the qualified speakers, TT speakers, evaluators, and then go to the timer detailed report.
Okay. The speaker sides, Toastmaster Kalyan, Toastmaster Dinesh, Toastmaster Diyagarajan. 3 speakers are qualified. And from the table topic speakers, actually 2-3 speakers I couldn't check that due to poor internet connections. Toastmaster Narasimhan qualified, Toastmaster Dr. Anagappan qualified, Toastmaster Kumar Mani qualified, Toastmaster Ranga, Toastmaster Venkatesan, DTM Sambat Saurirajan sir, Toastmaster Sudha, actually she didn't speak, Toastmaster Pavitra These people are qualified. From the evaluators, Toastmaster Karanjit, Toastmaster Saravanan. Actually, Saravanan, I couldn't follow his timings due to the poor connections. Toastmaster Priyadarshini, Toastmaster DTM Sunil Jose. These people are qualified. The timing point of view for the speakers, Toastmaster Kalyan has taken 6 minutes 36 seconds. Toastmaster Dinesh
Okay, so the timer is not there, so we'll wait for him. Till that, I think we can go to the R counter report. So I request GTM Thomas Abraham to read out his R counter report. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for him.
Thank you very much, G. We had a lot of clean speeches today. I'll tell you the gist of it. Karan had quite a few ums and ahs in his only sentence he spoke initially. Kalyan didn't have ums and ahs so much, but he was breaking his sentence in the process, repeating some of the parts, reconjugating and reforming. So I don't know where it'll fall. Then Mr. Tyagarajan's speech, because of audibility issues, I'm unable to make a definitive statement about pauses. Kishore had quite a few pauses. He also had a lot of ahs and ums. Example, the statement about Kindle. Before and after that, he had at least 3 pauses and multiple ums and ahs. Similarly, there was another sentence when he talked about DTM sorry. That sentence also had something like 3 or 4 ums and ahs. Then a few repetitions in the travel. A member of the club, a couple of repetitions. Like I did just now, TG Master Raghunath also had a few ums. Narasimhan had 3 ums. Alagappan didn't have any problems there. Ranga said that once when telling his stories. Venkadeshan, after sisters, he paused. Pavitra had several ums in the first sentence. Shamla had started off with 1 when he started the evaluation. Karanjit, in the first, when he started off, he said, thank you, ma'am. Then he also said, Kalyan, Mr. Kalyan, Toastmaster Kalyan. Then thereafter he got off with that problem. Saravanan had, a couple of times. Priya was a clean speech, presentation. Sunil had, it was a, and so, and from then on. And a couple of ums. So that is my summary. Thank you very much.
Thank you, DTM Thomas Abraham. Now, before we move on to the grammarian report, I suggest that we finish off the timer report because we have Peryasamy back. So you can finish the remaining report.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry for the disturbance. From the speaker side, Toastmaster Kalyan has taken 6 minutes 36 seconds. Toastmaster Dinesh, 3 minutes 22 seconds. Toastmaster Diyavarajam, 8 minutes 7 seconds. Toastmaster Krishna Kishore, 8 minutes 49 seconds. From the evaluators, Toastmaster Karanjit has taken 2 minutes 26 seconds. Toastmaster Saravanan, actually I couldn't follow Saravanan's speech due to the interruption. Toastmaster Priyadarshini Bailu, 2 minutes 40 seconds. DTM Sunil Jose, 3 minutes 29 seconds. From the table topic speakers, Toastmaster Narasimhan has taken 1 minute 36 seconds. Toastmaster Dr. Alagappan, 2 minutes 29 seconds. Toastmaster Kumar Mani, 1 minute 36 seconds. Toastmaster Ranga, 1 minute 20 seconds. Toastmaster Venkatesan, 1 minute 52 seconds. DTM Sambat Saurirajan sir, 2 minutes 10 seconds. Toastmaster Pavitra, 1 minute 48 seconds. Around 2-3 speakers I couldn't follow due to some interruption. Thank you. Thank you. Over to General Evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Peryasamy. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to call the grammarian for the day, Toastmaster Jagan, to read out his speech, to read out his grammarian report. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Toastmaster Jagannathan.
I'll start off with the Toastmaster of the day. These are good usages, and pardon me, I've not noted down the not so good usages since the meeting is for 2 hours. Not so good usages have not noted down, but good usages have noted. Toastmaster of the day, I'll start off with her. She used personifying, dejected, effervescent, contagious, and the list goes on. I will explain the list. Childlike curiosity. And one thing she used for Toastmaster Prashant is, whenever you see night, the day is not far. She used ardent, hilarious, a friend in need is a friend indeed, pardon, laurels, hopeless romantic, thick and thin, man of few words, kind-hearted, run for money. And when she was talking about Toastmaster Rangarajan, she used stepped in and stepped up, which I felt was a very good usage. You stepped in and stepped up, and gone the extra mile. She used it as gone the extra mile, which generally is going the extra mile, and raised the bar. And there was a Toastmaster speech as well with the title Raise the Bar. And going ahead, speaker 1, Kalyan, used excelled, wire a habit. So use the word wire a habit, which is a very good usage in terms of wiring it into your system. And he also used brought into the DNA, which is getting things into our own habit as such. Used decorum. Dinesh used the title itself, Courage of Conviction was a good framing of the title. Novice he used. Tyagarajan used the title again, once again. So shall you sow, so shall you reap. There's something we have not heard before, and it's a tricky way of framing the sentences, framing the words there. To go ahead, he used deserted, thunderbolt. He used the verb called counsel. Now, counsel, as DTM Sunil Jose would know, is a noun. Counsel, counsel, it's a legal term. Using the word counsel in the verb form was very well done with respect to Toastmaster Tyagarajan. He also used sunshine around your head, difficulties into opportunities, pearls of wisdom, abominable. He used a word called abominable. Terminally ill, kindness flowing in my veins, guilt of shame. Used another word which I really like called mental mutiny, which it was really good for me to hear. And reverberating. Krishna Kishore used, when he started the speech itself, he used sleeps, creeps, and leaps. It was good to hear, Krishna. And profound, ball game, Murphy's Law. He brought in Murphy's Law in between, which was also good to hear. Sleeping mode, finesse, which is a very good word to use. It was used with finesse. The word was used with finesse. Higher it grows, the deeper it bows, which is a good way of putting the characteristic of a bamboo. Now, table topics, I'm putting them all together and I'm giving you without the names. Enthusiasm, infinite, someone used fond of, the phrase fond of. There was one speaker who used whatever I ate settled down on my waist, which was funny to an extent. It was good to hear. And in captivity, when somebody was talking about animals, Ranga was talking about animals in captivity. DTM Sampath was using the busiest man finds time for everything. Dodge, tenacity, these are the words which I really liked. Refuting, someone was also using refuting. Coming to the evaluators, Karanjit started with a quote, time is the fire in which we all burn. It was very profound, man. And he also used this word called altruistic. Although I found the word not to be in context, but the word altruistic was good to hear. It was out of context, but the word was good to hear. And monotonous. Saravanan used the word compelling insights. Priya used the word, in the start of her speech, she started compassion, conflict, and climax, which was good to hear. And she used emotion and reason in the same phrase, which is once again conflict there, emotion and reason. Sunil used in accordance with. He used this phrase in accordance with and cornered. Now, these are the words that I really liked. And the word of the day, of course, the Toastmaster of the day used the word of the day. And Saravanan used the word of the day. If I'm mistaken, I was slightly distracted when Krishna Kishore also used it, I believe so. Infamous was a word Krishna Kishore also used. If I'm not right, please let me know. So which means we had three usages of the word of the day by the Toastmaster of the day, by the speaker Krishna Kishore, and the evaluator Saravanan. Over to the G.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jagannathan. So now it's time for the G report. We started on time at 2:55 as usual. And the TM Mori came up with an excellent theme today. And I believe that all of us are in lockdown, okay? So I'm sure, somewhere when this topic, when this theme was chosen, we felt really good because all this while we've been talking about Medley and what it gave to us. But for the first time, I think, Medley was telling us what Medley thinks about us. So I think that was an excellent theme. And the way she carried it also, like everything was on point. And I'm sure all the members, felt really happy because of this. And I saw that there was good energy throughout the meeting. So that's one thing, which is obviously the highlight of today. That's the theme of the day. And coming to the speeches, there were a lot of variety of speeches like time management, blogging. There was an touching story and an inspiring speech about path completion and the lessons he got. So kudos to that. And I believe there were a few technical issues here and there, but they were handled really well by TM Modi when she came back and told that, I was busy eating cakes. I think we should really learn from her as to how do we handle the technical issues. So kudos to that. And the Surgeon at Arms and the President gave a good start, to the meeting. And the TT, I mean, they were interesting as well as simple topics like we have already seen in the comments box. So, and something which I noticed is, almost all the speakers spoke beyond 1 minute. Now, that's why I think when that happens, we have achieved the motive of a TT session. So kudos to the TT master for that. And the evaluators did a good job while giving, recommendations and the positive things about a speaker. And yes, timer did miss out 2-3 speakers timing because of technical issues, but that's okay. It's always a part and parcel of an online meeting. Other than that, the tag team did really good job. But now coming to the recommendations, I know it is an online meeting and we do not expect gestures and body language to a certain extent from a speaker. But I saw this one speaker who was, throughout his speech looking at the side and talking. Now, what happens when we are doing that as a speaker is we lose a connect with the audience. So, next time when all the speakers are speaking, please make sure that you, stare into the, at least if not like to the camera because you're busy doing the speech, at least sit straight and talk, because then you can get the connect with the audience. And again, we had issues today in terms of, mute and unmute. I think, we have had 25 online meetings and we should now be a little, patient, and we should do our job as an audience by muting yourself when you're not speaking or something. So let's make sure from the next meeting that we follow that as well. And we're already running out of time a little bit, so that's okay. We can, because it was a team and we had to speak about a lot of people, that happened. So that's it from my side. Over to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, General Evaluator. With that, let us come to the concluding portion of today's meeting. I will become infamous if I keep pouring my heart out, talking about all our members, but then I will also become infamous if I don't talk about few of our members. I'll keep those for the next section of the meeting. With that said, I would say East or West, Medley is the best, and I really thank all of you for joining Medley Toastmasters and being with me through the different seasons in the Toastmasters year. And I really love you all. Over to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Dinesh.
Thank you, DTM Sugandhi Priyasamy. It was really a brilliant Toastmaster of the Day, one of a kind, in which each and every member is spoken of, and they felt very good. Thank you very much. And I think the link is now available for everyone to vote And I request everyone to vote for the best speaker, best evaluator, best table topic speaker. The link is available in the chat menu, so I request everyone to check out on it. I request our guest Toastmaster Zakir Hussain to talk about how the meeting went about.
It was one of the finest meeting, good meeting I can say. We had quite good speeches, and also table topics was innovative today. I liked it a lot. So I couldn't get a chance to speak, though I enjoyed the complete meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Nice to hear from you, Zaki. I have a few announcements to make. The annual general body meeting is going to happen the next Saturday, and also tomorrow, that is Sunday, we have a meeting. And also if you would have seen in the WhatsApp group, our past Medley president Toastmaster Ram Kumar has become the area director. He's not present right now, and we wish him all the best for his endeavors. And yeah, Sharnya, is the results ready?
Yes, Dinesh, let me share my screen.
Yeah. And the best speaker goes to Toastmaster Kalyan. The best table topic speaker, Toastmaster Narasimhan. The best evaluator, Toastmaster Priya. Best tag player, grammarian, Toastmaster Jagannathan. And the best role player is our TM Modi, obviously, DTM Sugandhi Periyasamy. How long did it take, Sugandhi, for slides to be prepared? If you could unmute.
Okay, I forgot to tell the most important thing. The sites were quite easy to prepare because our diligent vice president, public relations Toastmaster Vashini, has taken all the pains along with DTM Thomas to collect all your photographs, put it on a Google Drive. So the kudos goes to her. I just picked it up and put it in the slide. That is all.
Thank you. It was superb. So that's it, everyone.
Yes, Sukanti.
So we'll just quickly.
Hey, Sukanti.
I'll get in touch with you, sir.
Yes, Sukanti. Hey, Sukanti.
Sir.
Don't you hear?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
See, I sent you a message. Did it reach you? Have you changed your phone number?
Sir, I'll call you after the meeting, sir. Let a presiding officer.
Oh, still going on. Okay. Thank you.
I'll end the meeting, sir. Yeah. With the sound of the gavel, I end this meeting and looking forward to tomorrow meeting, everyone. Thank you.